What strategies can be employed to ensure that the data team aligns closely with the company's overall business goals?
Yeah, this is paramount, right? Really, as I said, the data team is really the one that tells a business how they're doing. And that means that the data team needs to be very closely aligned with the overall business. There are many ways to do this, but first and foremost, every bigger initiative that is started or by the leadership of the organization, let's say, or even thought about, really data should be brought in at that point. That could be the data leader, it could be an analyst, it varies, and all roles are fine. It really depends on the company culture and how. But at the end of the day, you want to be brought in earlier on so that you can investigate, hey, is this a direction that we want to take? And assuming it is it the way we are thinking about it, is it the right way? Or maybe there's a different path that we can tell through data. It's not maybe not being experimented yet. And we think that maybe that's another investment that can maybe supercharge or turbocharge what we're already thinking of. Um, so really, the point I'm driving here is the role of the data team is, of course, to measure and evolve how the business is doing, but at the same time, get a little bit ahead of the curve and try and guide and lead where the business wants to go. And really, the data team is a centralizing team in many ways where they're seeing different parts of the business, right? It depends what they're working on. And if you have a robust operation, hopefully you're working with many different teams across the organization and can serve as the glue to say, hey, this team seems to be measuring this number in this way, while we have this other team who talks about a similar number but measures it in a very different way. Can we, as the neutral party here, are going to bring this together, right? And tell you, hey, let's use this. And then talk the same language between them. So really, we're trying to bring cohesion across the entire business and make sure that what we are measuring is agrees with one another. And so we're all like trying to move the business forward rather than getting into each other's way by saying, hey, my number is right or your number is right. And so really like that's where like the business needs to come to data and the data needs to go to the business. So it's like a two-way street. I think team culture, as I already mentioned, is also very important in making sure that you're aligned with the business overall strategies or goals. Assuming, as I said already, you hired the right mix of people, you have those individuals who are willing to speak up and tell you, hey, I think we're making a change here, but maybe this other part of the organization is not even aware yet and should be brought in. And this is where, again, those culture carriers will really help you make that or team work together and really bring everything into cohesion. Yeah, I think those are like biggest.
Okay. And then, because there's always, I'll say it's getting better now, or speaking to data leaders and individuals, there's always been the business side and the data tech team side, hasn't there? The separation. How do you get that cohesion together? Because obviously now, businesses now are getting flipped upside down, really, because data's carving away, we're transforming businesses completely. So how do you get that cohesion together and I guess understanding? So you need that data literacy, don't you, across the whole business? So how do you get? Is it more sort of peer work, or is it more like just meetings? How do you feel the best way? How do you get your team all cut together?
Yeah, that's such an important and good question. I think there are many strategies here. Some that I've tried and have include cross-functional teams, right? So your team is not just your data team or your tech team, but it's really supporting a larger organization. And so can you structure your overall business to have these kind of cross-functional teams? That's what we do right now at my current role. Again, I should say that everything I say is my own thoughts and not something that my company is asking me to say or any of my organizations. So that's one strategy. Another strategy could be that you have your team members embedded in functional groups that you are supporting, right? That's like what is it called? A hybrid approach in some ways, where you know that you support, let's say, the finance team or the customer success team. And so you want to have this one person who's always attached to that team, and they're the ones who go to their team meetings even. and come back and tell you, here's what's going on in that team. And I think we should do ABC or XYZ to solve that need. And that's that I see coming up. And again, this is where the cohesion is important, because if the person who represents customer success also talks to the person who represents finance and also talks to the person who represents marketing, whatever those different functions are, and then they all come together and discuss what's happening. So in many ways, they are starting to now tell you the story of the business. That's one model. The cross-functional team, again, works in a similar way, but again, at the end of the day, comes together and discusses what's happening in the various teams and tries to understand, is this making sense for the overall business, not just for the one specific team that they're a part of.
No, interesting, because I think that's one thing. I think communication is the hardest bit across business. Most businesses should know where they want to go. They've got the end goal. But I think obviously you've got the other impactful bits like change management, communication. That's where the squiggly line, the challenges come in my opinion.